Hello everybody, so Manuel here from Dominican Republic. Let me show you this, take a look. What I'm showing you today, this used to be a sugarcane factory and it was dominated by slavery, specifically African slavery. So back in 1796, there was a revolt, the slaves against the Spanish oppressor. So 200 slaves, according to the Spanish historians, 200 slaves, they fought the Spanish oppressors and they killed most of them. That day, that was in October 1796. That was the last day of the slavery in this place. This place is called Boca de Nigua. I'm going to show you now what they used to do, where the sugar was collected and everything. So think about it. In 1796, Haiti was already fighting for the freedom. They started the freedom process. And then in 1804, Haiti got their independence. Most of the Africans here, they ran to Haiti, right? Because when they did the revolt in October 1796, you know that soldiers from the Spanish emperor, they came over to this place to fight these slaves. But this place, that was the last day of a slavery right here in this place. This is one. This is one of the few. We don't have so many of this anymore. This is one of the few African concentration places in the Dominican Republic. So let me show you now. All this area right here, what you see, this where the sugar was collected. So this was not a sugarcane plantation. This is where the sugar, I'm gonna show you now. Show you now. Because this, we're talking about more than 200 years of history here. So this is the basement. And this was some kind of like the fireplace where they used to cook the sugar cane before the process. And if you see here, I don't have to tell you what this is, right? You already know. So you can see there. So they used to, this was like the stove to cook. This was part of the sugar cane process. So as you can see, as I told you before, back in 1796, these people, they did a revolt, right? 2 months later, some of those slaves were captured and killed by the Spanish soldiers. They wanted to make an example out of it. But October 1796 was the last day of a slavery in this place. It was African slavery. At that point, there was not indigenous slavery right in this location. So this is what happened. But by that time, Haiti was already fighting for their independence against French people. As you know, we were first invaded by Spanish people, but then French, they came over here and they claimed part of the island, which is what you know today as Haiti. So this, that part of the area was dominated by France, which at the time was Napoleon was the big boss right there. So this is the reason when Spanish came here to this, they kept this area. They enslaved indigenous and Africans. They started having sex with all the indigenous, and this is why you can see so many mixed colors and diversity in the Dominican Republic. That explains why we speak Spanish. That explains why our last names are Spanish or indigenous last names. And in the area of Haiti, which was French domination, they did not find indigenous in Haiti because the indigenous were kept by the Spanish people. Spanish came first. So what French did, they brought only African to those locations for sugarcane factories like this one. That's why in Haiti they have French last names, and their names are also French. They speak Creole, which is very similar to French, right? So you understand now? But if you go to Mexico or those areas where there was absolute dominance by natives, by indigenous, Mayans, Incas, Aztecs. I'm trying to be brief. I don't want to go too deep into it because we don't have the time for that. But I just want you to take a look at what's going on in my back. That's history right there. That's pain that's suffered by African slaves. Take a look. So, something that you need to know about. Christopher Columbus, he came here, right? It was 1492. What he found in these areas was indigenous, all indigenous. So he started to enslave the males for workforce and have sexually abused women. So they started having sex and bringing a lot of illnesses like tuberculosis, chickenpox, and a lot of measles, a lot of stuff that the native they didn't know. So that was part of the extermination. They started dying because of those illnesses brought here by the Spanish people. A couple of hundred years later, they started bringing more and more Africans to replace, and they needed more because they noticed that this was a very huge business opportunity here. Everything you see here is history of pain. There's nothing fun here.